Hello, my name is Sky, and this is kind of my response to Neal Tiles' response to my previous videos about G4 TV and the direction it's going in particular because of Neal Tiles began posting open source. Um, and unfortunately, because I was so distracted, that previous video just went this way and that. But I just want to try to get out all this information I was able to find. It's just as a way for G4 to potentially branch out. Its targets, its um, the type of shows they can have on, and in my opinion, what it seems to me that G4 TV had a lot of talented people who just weren't the best entertainers, and when they decided, okay, well, we really want to maximize the interest of the audience, they kind of started going more towards entertainment that increased the audience, and then and so the idea, the concept was that, okay, now let's keep upping the entertainment, and so as a result, the entertainment is so much more than the information that the show used to be about, or that the content of G4 TV used to be about. So. Um, with my different videos, I was kind of trying to point out, like, well, I think you're limiting yourself market-wise on what you can do. In particular, in that, since you just really seem to have a lot of skills and talent towards video games, why not open that up and make it less about objectifying women and more about including women, and also potentially even some concepts, or some ways of maybe even approaching things on the political front. Um, so I mean, it's like, and there's a lot of things which I really just wanted to express, which unfortunately I just couldn't. But I need to get back to that at a later time. Anyway, so this is Neal Tiles' message back to me, which I guess I could provide some feedback as I'm reading it. Sky, always impressed by your devotion to G4. Thanks for all the posts. From what I can gather, you have two fundamental follow-up questions regarding G4. One, why not advertise more as people are not aware of G4? Two, why not broaden target to include females? First, you are 100% correct that G4 needs to increase its advertising awareness to succeed. But the problem is that the cost to do so and the priorities we are focused to consider with any funds that might be we are forced to consider, and the priorities we are forced to consider with any funds that might be put toward marketing. While we do promote off of G4 at times, as you point out, it's not nearly at the levels needed in order to make a dent. At this stage, we're placing a priority on developing programming with funds that might otherwise be used for marketing. G4 TV won a Webby Award. That's free publicity right there, and that if you handle that right. Anyways, um, but even those funds would be challenged to support a major marketing push. Fact remains that our total awareness, based on an independent study among men 13 to 44 years of age, is 60%, 67% aware of G4, far below the 95% range enjoyed by virtually all of our competitors who, for the most part, have all been around significantly longer than G4 has been around. The other way to look at this is that after just 6 years of being in business and without any real off-channel spend, G4 has been able to garner about 3/4 of the awareness that other networks who have been around 15 to 20 years and have spent countless millions looking at it that way, we're not doing too bad. The next issue you raise is over broadening our target to include females too. While I get into this with greater detail in my next open source post, the simple answer is that we stand to get more mileage out of our limited resources by concentrating our efforts versus spreading ourselves too thin. Spread yourself too thin. I mean, like, how many female staffers do you have? How hard is it to just have a woman write for a woman, or to say, okay, can a woman, participate in how we generate the show? Um, or having many women participate in generating the show. Um, spreading yourself too thin. It's a balance in tying to. I didn't realize he had this many spelling mistakes before. It's a balance in trying to be niche enough to uh, it's a balance in trying to be niche enough so as to define yourself, yet still have enough mass to monetize to advertisers. This was the issue with video game TV. Very easy to define yourself, but too narrow to appeal to enough to make work. Key is to find the sweet spot of being large enough to monetize, but still niche enough to establish a unique voice. Thanks again for this post, and please keep being a fan. Regards, Neal Tiles. Now, essentially, part of what I was getting at in my videos was that um, there's appeal and there's attraction, in just how you do your marketing research. And I'm thinking that what G4 can do, essentially, is have a bit more of an attraction. And so Adam Sessler is doing that with the Fox News and other market effects. We see that happening. That he is having an effect. He is having an attraction to him by a segment of the population, in particular the gamer set of the population, which is very curious about the products which that show showcases. Now, on top of that, because of the daily nature of that show, Adam Sessler is able to have a significant impact upon what the video game companies are doing and how they're going to operate and how they're going to get their product out. So what I'm getting at is, you can potentially expand that. So you have the show Free Stuff. You can do other shows kind of like that, where you can really get this audience participation, while at the same time, educating the audience and entertaining the audience, but not trying to do it like Man Show, But I think that would have more appeal and also be more acceptable in more households, because the thing to realize is that what the show you're having, the stuff you have is great, but the thing is you're limiting the households you get into. If you have more of an all ages show that, if the words are ridiculous but the actions are, appropriate enough, then nobody's going to mind, and that's where the whole 12, 13-year-old kids watching thing comes in. But otherwise, anyways, but I see, like, for Attack the Show, yeah, that's it's hard to get that underage program, and then you have it on at 4 p.m. In the Pacific. But anyways, as far as X-Play though, it's very well put together, and it just keeps continues, and it's just it's great to see that Adam Sessler really does have the talent to just do all the different things, and surprisingly keep it afloat. So you have a very strong employee right there. Don't discourage him. Keep encouraging him, because if Adam Sessler can just do this with X-Play, give him a little bit more. Hey, imagine what else he could do. So keep up the good work, Neal Tiles. Sure.